Hey guys, so this is the first video in the month of February, okay? As we all know, February is Black History Month, all right? So as I said in a few videos ago, I want to feature Black-owned brands during the month of February. I want to do mainly Black-owned brands, so every video, every makeup video that I put out, I'm trying to use nothing but Black-owned brands, okay? There will be some things that I haven't found substitutes for, or not substitutes, but haven't found Black-owned brand, equivalents for, but I'm still searching for stuff. So if I do find it, and if it's not Black-owned, I will say that in the video. But mainly most of the things that I will be using in these videos for the month of February are going to be Black owned, okay? Whole goal is to kind of just show that, you know, you don't just have to buy your lipstick from a Black owned brand. We know there's a ton of Black owned lipstick companies, but there's Black owned complexion companies, Black owned blushes, Black owned, you know, all that kind of stuff, right? And I just want to kind of get just on my corner of the interwebs, okay? Kind of, you know, just show that, you know, Black-owned brands make quality stuff and you can pull together quality looks using Black-owned brands, okay? So this foundation, I'm feeling a little orange. Maybe it's not coming off on camera, maybe it is, but it's matching here, but when I look dead on, it's not matching. So not sure what's going on with it, but we'll get it together sooner or later. But yeah, so hope you really enjoyed. This is going to be a voiceover. Winter wanted to be in the room while I was filming, so couldn't do a talk through, but I will do a talk through later on in this month, okay? So hope you enjoy, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye. All right, guys, so to start, I am going to go ahead and do my brows. I'm using Beauty Bakery's brow pomade with an angled brush. I'm not going to show the full thing because I do have a video on how I do my brows, so I'll link that in the cards. But I'm carving it out with Iman's foundation stick in the color Clay 4, I believe. And then for eyeshadow primer, I'm going to use Beauty Bakery's Cake Face Concealer. This is their new concealer, and I will have a full review of it coming soon. Just patting that on my eye and making sure that I have a good coating of it. Next, I'm going to take Danessa Myricks Evolution Powder. This powder in shade number 4. It's closest to my skin tone. And I'm just going to set that concealer so that the eyeshadow I lay down can glide smoothly and, you know, not be patchy or anything. So for eyeshadow today, I'll be using Magnolia Makeup's pigments. And the first pigment I'm using is called Blood Orange. It's a very deep, warm orange color, and I'm just taking that on a very fluffy brush in my crease. And I'm going to kind of run through this. This is a pretty easy look. It's just laying down shadows and blending. So I'm just taking that and rocking that through my crease. Next, I went in with Rio, but this ended up having a bit of shimmer to it. So as I started to blend it out, it started to be very, I don't know if iridescent is the word, but it had a sheen to it, and I did not want that sheen. So I'm just going to continue to blend and hope that it kind of goes away, but of course it doesn't. So what I end up doing, I'm going to grab what is it? Juvia's Place. Ooh, lighting change. Juvia's Place Zulu palette, and I'm going to use the yellow that's in that. And I'm a bit ahead of the video apparently. So yeah, Juvia's Place, the yellow that's in the Zulu palette. That palette, the shadows don't have a name, but I'm just putting that at the edge of the orange and right below where my highlight color would be for my brow bone, just to kind of fade that color out and try to cover up the Rio. Next, I'm going to go in with a deep purple. This is called Easy from Magnolia Makeup. I'm using a shader brush, and I'm taking that directly into my crease and just carving the crease out with it. And for those of you who don't know about Magnolia Makeup, it is a makeup brand that was or is based in New Orleans, Louisiana. I believe it's either sisters or friends, black women. They own the brand, and they do pigments. I believe they do pressed products, they do complexion products, they do all types of products. So if you haven't checked them out, go ahead and check them out. I own tons of their pigments and lipsticks, and actually powder blushes too. So I'm going with the shade Antoinette. It's a hot pink shade, and I'm taking that between the orange and the deep purple that I put down, just to kind of have a better gradient. And then I'm going back with the brush that I had the orange on, blood orange, and I'm just wanting to kind of make that, y'all know how I am. I go back through, I blend, I put down, I blend, I put down, I blend. You know, that's what I do or whatnot. Next, I'm going in with the color Chlorine, and I'm patting that on my eye. I did end up wetting my brush and putting the pigment down wet. I felt as if that gave it more of a b.o.m.b effect to it, so that's what you see me doing. I have a very flat eyeshadow brush, and I'm just packing that onto the center point of my lid. I kind of want it to be a half circle, half moon type shape, and just patting that on my lid till I get the saturation that I want from the color. And then of course touching up where that deep purple is, just to make sure I do have the differentiation, is that a word? Just to make sure I do have a separation of colors. Next, I'm going in with the pigment Mirror Ball. It is exactly what it sounds like. Very silver, very glittery, and I'm putting that on my finger, and I'm just patting it on my lid directly on top of the Chlorine, the blue color, just to give it a bit more sheen and a bit more sparkle. Again, going back in with the brush that I have Speakeasy on, the deep purple, and just making sure that I do have that kind of separation of colors there. Next, for foundation, y'all have seen this routine many times. I will link it above also, but I'm using, if I can get it together, I'm using Danessa Myricks foundations. I will have a foundation files for this coming very soon. It is a little bit tricky. The shades that I'm using today are W5 and 8. You got to be real careful if you're like me and you run a bit more golden, a bit more yellow. The W's are very warm and will take you to a very orange place, so hence why I'm using the neutral to kind of even it out. Some days I get it, some days I don't. But this foundation, as you can see, I did not correct today, and it totally covered up every single mark on my face. Then I'm going in with Beauty Bakery's concealer. As I said before, I will have a review for this. This concealer is an interesting concealer, very interesting, but I will get into that in the review. And I'm just patting that with my Real Technique sponge and highlighting the various areas that I typically do and getting the camera straight, because of course it always moves on me. Next, to contour, I'm going in with Fashion Fair's contour or foundation stick in Teak. I will be using it as a contour, of course. And for stick products, especially contour products, I like to take them on angle brushes and lay the product down with the brush and then blend out with my sponge. I suck at cream contouring, so this is the only way that I can get that kind of cream contour look, but have it look decent. And then to set my under eyes, I'm going in with Beauty Bakery's Flower. It's their translucent powder, and the color I do have it in is translucent. And I'm just laying that down with a damp sponge underneath my eyes and then down the center of my face. And then for my setting powder, I'm going to be using Fashion Fair's pressed powder, oil control pressed powder in pecan, however you say that. And I'm just taking it on my brush that looks like a powder puff and just pressing that in his skin. Next, I'm going back with Blood Orange, Antoinette, the Hot Pink, and also Speak Easy, the Deep Purple. Doing the same kind of effect that I had on my lid above, doing that down below. The faces I make, Lord Jesus. And then for a liner, I'm going to be using Danessa Myricks 24-Hour Color in Obsidian. This is just a cream pigment that can be used for various things, so I decided to use the black for a liner. And then for lashes, I'm using some lashes from Social Chanel. Are the Social Chanels. They are a lash. I typically do not wear lashes like this. And then for mascara, I use Beauty Bakery's Icing mascara. My camera won't focus on it, but it's called the Icing or Eyelash Icing, something like that. And that's what I ended up using on my lashes for my mascara. And of course, when I went to put it down, it did kind of thing on my eye, underneath my eye, so I had to go back in and kind of wipe it off. For bronzer, I'm using a Fashion Fair pressed powder in Sable. Guys, it's matte, but it bronzes. I think I found my bronzer. I freaking love the color on this bronzer. It warms me up so much, but it's not, it looks really red, but it's not. Like in the pan it looks like hella red, but it's really not. And as you can tell, like I'm putting it on and then I'm like, yes, the look is coming together. Yes. Then I'm just carving out my cheeks with Beauty Bakery's Flower Translucent Powder. And for blush, I'm going to use a combination of Neo and the orange one, and I can't remember what it is, and it's not in front of me. I'm just laying that down on my cheeks. And for highlighter, I'm using this highlight from Fashion Fair, and I believe it's called Golden. It'll be linked down below. I can't remember. Sorry, guys. The highlight though, come on, Fashion Fair, come through. Alright, so for lips, I'm going to go in with Colored Rain's Truffle Rain. It's a brown lipstick. Since I didn't have any black on liners, I figured I can just line my lips with a brown liquid lipstick. And I was going for a very nude lip. Y'all already saw the intro, so y'all know what the final look looks like. But I wanted to go with a nude kind of cool tone lip, if that makes sense. So I'm just lining with this and trying to line my lips with this applicator. It was really kind of tickling my lips or whatnot. So that's the faces you see me making. And then this nudish color, this nude color I put in or put on is Shot of Espresso from Be Elegant Cosmetics, of course. Love that color. It's such an odd nude, and it's everything. So I'm just spraying myself with a little bit of Fix Plus, not black owned, but no, we do what we can. And yeah, guys, so here is the final look. Y'all know I'm partial to blue eyeshadow. Try not to do too much blue eyeshadow this month, but yeah, here's the look. A lot of lash, a nude lip, and some blue eyeshadow. Okay, hope you enjoy. And yeah, guys, that highlight, come through, Fashion Fair. Yes. Bye, guys.